All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, and we need to talk about not getting trapped. Today was crazy. How we opened and how we played up. This is what is inspiring this, but literally, we traded these levels to a T, and then on top of it, it was all moved by data. So, we got a lot to go over. I got the market recap. We're going to explain what happened today. We're going to talk about oil. I got some updates for you, even how I plan to play it, the plays we made, and all of that. But after today and watching kind of how things started off really chill in the morning to a quick downturn, it is just very clear the levels are important and the data. Don't get trapped. And what I mean by that is simply the market is only going to move off of these two things, or at least until we get another catalyst to get us out of this. Maybe it's data. Without data or without a trading range, I mean, literally, that's all we've been seeing. So we got a lot to talk about. I got a couple more pretty pictures for you, but it was a crazy one today. We got a lot to go over. And Chad, I hope I see you there in the morning, because we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. YouTube.com/Lista. I don't know how I got to this intro. Honestly, I usually do it different. And I'm wearing this, is old school, bro. It's a 2019 watch list shirt. Y'all don't run it.
Walking to the couch, it's the joints on the legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get to the keys. It was very, very wild. You had good data in the morning, consumer confidence, or the consumer conference board, or whatever. It's a tongue twister. That was actually really good. And then the Jolt jobless claims, both of those data sets were very, very good. But remember, good data is not good for the market, because that means that Powell can hike more. And we got to hear from the Fed speakers. They were mainly hawkish, and that's kind of what applies to the first key here today. You're definitely still feeling that J-hole hangover from Friday. Pretty much, the market is more sensitive to data, or they're going to focus on it. Again, we saw that. And then those Fed speakers, they were mainly hawkish. I believe it was Barkin in the morning, who still said something about a pivot, and that was kind of dovish. But for the most part, it was very weird what drove the market today, because in the morning, people were very chilled out. People were saying, well, okay, there's no panic, there's fear. But then right at the opening bell, it just kept moving. And now on top of it, you see I got it there. There was weird global news. Pretty much Taiwan fired live ammunition against the Chinese drone. And why it's so weird is because Taiwan has never done that. This is the first time ever in history where Taiwan has fired live ammunition at anything related to China. So that was kind of contributing to it. We didn't hear much, but overall, this was a hangover from J. Powell and the data and the Fed speakers. It kind of culminated into this weird move. And one thing I'll tell you, we brought this up yesterday. Remember, oil was leading the market today. Oil was down 3-4% as an index right off of the morning. So you really got to see the effect of oil, because pretty much you had Amazon barely red while the index was now chilling at like 402 or 404 or something. It was pretty wild. So that is your first key. But key number two now, this is what I'm talking about here with the title and everything, but we broke every single short-term level like it was nothing today. So here are my child technical. Honestly, it's real technical. You know, it's not as straight. No, honestly, these levels came up. I explained to you where I got them yesterday, and it was interesting to see how tight the market was moving with it. But just take note, that first 417 level, it buttered right through it. The 4,000, it buttered right through it. The 396 got clapped. Again, all butter. This is all within the first hour. Even the 381, and then even there down to 374. I'm telling you, it was absolutely wild. And then you see the rest of the day, you traded within that the whole time. So why this is important, because it's just clear the market is moving within these ranges. Again, this is a little different than how I've been doing it, because I'm giving you 5 ranges all within the short term, where usually, again, go watch Monday's watch list. I was telling you, watch 394, 397, 400. I've been using broad levels, and literally all I'm using is the levels from the last low. Even that like 407 and 417, those are coming from previous lows. But the point is, we are trading within those, and they are really, really reacting to that. And now on top of it, here is the VIX, and this is what I told you guys the other day. The VIX still isn't moving. So imagine we dropped from 404 down to 397, and the VIX was pretty much the same price as yesterday. It was absolutely wild. Again, the last time in March, that's right here on the VIX, the market went from 430 to 415, and now look at that move on the VIX. You are not getting it there, and we talked about it yesterday. I need to bring it up here today. This is saying, one, you either have more drama and more pain to come ahead, or two, the market is positioned light and people are not seeing the need to sell calls and sell out of stuff, and then the demand for puts, it is just not there anymore. So keep all of that in mind, but that was a huge key today. And then three, oil. I know we talked about it yesterday, and literally, if you watched it, the market opened up, it was already low. I think it's kind of a blessing, but there's a lot of reasons here today, and this is why I'm saying I like oil, because even then the market was active, but a 6% move even downside, you're going to get a lot of volatility. But why it dropped today, there was a lot of reasons, and the main thing was that it was looking better for Europe. So there was that German news yesterday that carried over into it, and then there was news about Iraq and not having their supplies affected and them being able to supply Europe. So pretty much a lot of the Europe fears over the last 48 hours, those have calmed down a lot. And then there was rumor of an Iran deal with the JCPOA, even though we said later in the day, the US came out and said, no, that's not true. Somebody was saying today that it would be confirmed in 2 weeks. Oil didn't have an effect after that. And then on top of it, I found this one out after hours. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that's saying, nah, like I think it was the TASS. They said that OPEC does not plan on cutting output this September. And remember, a couple days ago, that helped bring oil up. So there was a lot of news there, and oil had a big effect. Again, you finally saw the day where everything was down in oil, and it was a little bit bigger. But for the theory we've been talking about with oil, I mean, we'll get into it in the plays. This is kind of a blessing, but you're noticing a lot of this is kind of future pricing as we get into winter. And really, most of the moves are just off of how people are feeling about the future. So keep that in mind because it's causing big moves. But that was definitely a big factor on the day. But finally, your last key is very simple. Watch if we break below 394 coming into the end of the week. That will open up the door to 390. Again, I think these levels are going to start being a little bit more active, but really, like I said at the beginning of the week, we just want to have the data and the final moves confirmed by data at the end of the week. So watch out for that. And then even on the upside, again, I don't think we have to go down, but after seeing how tight the ranges were today, I'm going to be using those same levels, the 407, the 417, the 381, all of that. I'm going to use those as the upside support and resistance if we do manage to go up. But simply watch for 394 or 390 for real damage and real volatility. If it gets below there and the data confirms a final blow, we're probably going to come into more volatility, and then we burn a week, and then you got this CPI. So I hope you're ready, but let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I got 3 different plays. We did a couple of day trades, but again, you can kind of see I'm kind of, flowing into my own pace now. I'm not getting as bored doing some. Yesterday, we didn't do as many, and I'm trying to keep it small and not go too crazy. Again, position sizing is the most important thing, especially in this market, and especially if you want to stay alive to trade another day, my friend. But as far as the first play, TSM, I shorted 50 shares today. I don't know what price. It was 83.04. We got about almost $1 a share, and I was going to go bigger. I said this on the watch list yesterday. Instead of going in with 100, I'm going to start in with half if I'm playing the momentum breaks, because if I top ticket and it bounces up, I'm going to want to add more. So only went with 50. I wanted to go with 100, but that ended up working, and the reason is that missile thing today was weird. We heard the news. I didn't think it was going to lead to something, but my logic was, hey, if it was, then TSM is going to be the one that literally will get the most exposure. So that's why I liked it. We still really haven't got a response from China, but if anything develops, again, this was a once in history event where they are shooting at things from China. So maybe it has something. We didn't hear much, but like I'm saying, this is literally the best exposure to anything Taiwan related, US and everything. I mean, it covers such a broad scope. So keep that one in mind. That is play number 1. Play number 2, I'm excited to bring this one back on a watch list. Boeing, baby. It's been moving out a lot, and I think you got to watch it both ways, but now we'll see how this news affects it. It didn't do much after hours, but there was news of them grounding the, it's like I don't know how to say the name, the Chinook helicopter. Pretty much it's a Boeing helicopter, but the military has decided to ground all of them because of engine fire. So we'll see if it turns into anything. But again, Boeing, it was moving crazy. Even today, it was up like 2.9 and then sold off. The moves are big, and maybe there might be an opportunity. Again, premiums get weird on that one, but maybe at least it's shot, with shares. I don't know. We'll see. But that is play number 2. And then finally, baby, oil. Let it fall. Let it fall, bro. If you think that I gave you that video and that the market coming down is going to change anything, it's not. I'm telling you, this is actually the opportunity I'm talking about. Those moves are big. And like I'm saying, if you are focusing on this stuff, there is just so much to play. There's rumors. There's all of this perception, fundamental data. This is what I like. And like I said yesterday, this is the warm-up. Obviously, things are getting priced into winter, but just think about the news that's driving things up and down. A lot of this stuff isn't going to stick, or you're going to get a follow-up. Again, it's kind of like the LNG port. Remember, big reaction after hearing it, and then by the time you get the real update, the thing has already moved back to where it was, and it does its own thing. But all I'm saying is that oil is in a great spot, and I'm going to keep watching it. Again, some people got confused. They're like, Josh, wait a minute. I thought oil goes down during recessions. It does, but remember, you are not in a recession just yet. The Fed, a lot of people were looking for 2023, getting into like middle of the year there, but the whole idea is leading into the run-up, it can go up. And even if there was a recession, as history has shown, go look at oil price from the 70s. Pretty much, I think, it's not inflation adjusted, but at the beginning of 1970 to the end of 1970, again, around 1980, oil went from like $2 to like 18 bucks or $15. And then it did drop after the 1980s recession. But during that whole 1970 to 1980, there was a big lead up, and it held, and it really did a lot of big things. So the whole idea is this will take us leading into that. There will be volatility if you have a real recession, but even then, there is something that can kind of outperform. And halfway through recessions, you could go look it up. Commodities really do have history on their side. So that's why I brought that up. But all in all, I like it. I looked for plays, and this is all I want you to see today. Today was a good discount, but if you're already in it, you probably noticed the premiums are still elevated. So a lot of people asked if you should get in, and I say, hey, if you don't have any exposure, you could start scaling in small. Maybe it's a little decent, but this is what I want you to see. And I'm going to start with a watch list play, because remember, before I played this, I called this out, and I said, hey, if this contract falls below $1, I like it. It was a November PSX 105, and it did drop below $1. I didn't have the chance to get it there. I didn't want to go too crazy because, again, I added to that BP, and I'll show you, but you'll see here, yesterday it was going for $2.70. Today it's going for $2, but it's still 100% higher than when I called it out on the watch list. So this is good because, remember, this is why I look at options. This is why I put in placemakers. This is why I wanted to show you guys this so you could see a premium and understand how it's being priced. These premiums are still jacked up a little bit, but that's PSX. Here is the BP. Again, we have the January 39 calls. I have 50 of these, so I got a pretty big one, but we bought it at like 50 cents, shot up to 85. You can see how it held up. It didn't go higher, and then all of a sudden today, it dropped, but notice it's back to the price we got it at. I'm like up like 10%, but compare it to the week before that, it's still up around 100%. So again, that premium is kind of baked in there. And then finally, this is the other Conoco play that I'm in. I'm in the January 125. We literally stole this play. We bought these at like $1.50 or $1.30, but notice it was at $7.20 yesterday. Today it dropped to like $6.90 or like $5.60. It came down 50%, but literally over the last 3 days, it is still juice. So like I'm saying, I love oil. Today didn't change anything, and it's not like it even gave us the best discount. Like I'm saying, I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm looking for it, but I want to keep going and making these plays, and really, we want to be able to buy the dips and get them at a good discount, and we will be able to run it up. But just pay attention, pick a couple of your favorites. You could even watch these and use these as place markers. They are telling us a lot, but those are the main plays. As far as everything else, again, I didn't make too many trades. I got to actually get out of negative trades. So Twitter, remember I was was down on it. We got like 20 or 30 cents a share now. God, he's good. Covered that for like a $40 gain. Opened the TSM, the plug. Remember, we were up on that. Then it came down. Then I got trapped in it. It rallied in the morning. I sold out only 50 cents per share. Again, I kept it small. I wanted to trim some of these positions. Again, if I was a loser to go winner, let's take it. That's another winner, even if it's small. I closed out of that one, and then I covered the Netflix. And again, from yesterday till today, I covered at 220.92. That was almost $7 a share just in 24 hours. So that was a nice like $350 profit, give or take. I think like 300, 350, I don't know, around there. And then we got a little crazy. Chad was there, and then literally we were noticing the levels just butter and playing so well today. I was like, all right, let's try a future at the technical levels and see what happens. I used the levels to get an idea. If it did butter that level, then we'd have downside. I shorted the futures at 4,725, covered at 3,992. I made like 60 bucks off of it, and then I waited a little bit, and then I waited for the other level, and then I bought it, and then we went on the upside, 3,972.75 to 3,928.80, made another 40 bucks. We got like $100 of trading. Again, these are micro futures, so wasn't too big of losses, wasn't too big of gains. And then shout out Brit King from the Twitch chat, baby. He called this one out as a butterfly earnings, and I liked it. Again, Palo Alto, another Chad support. They were like, Palo Alto did good. I was like, I'm down. I did a butterfly, $60, max gain of 1,000. Buy the 220, sell the 230, and then buy the 240. But they had good earnings. They shot up and came down, but ended up being a dud. But those were the only other plays. Still riding everything else. Again, I got a couple of hype plays that were down on. These are part of the day trading, but still riding them. That's like SMMT, GSAT, and then there's one more, DoorDash too. I'm still down on that. But as far as the other trades, that means every other trade I've closed out. And I think the bigger losses, we took a couple losses on Tesla, still overall up. And then we took that big $600 loss on Teladoc. So not too bad, but we'll see. And like I've been saying today, you can see the flexibility, use the shares, and just don't let the premium scam you, and just don't go too big on the shares. It will keep you alive, and it will give you that flexibility. So hopefully you've been learning, but that is pretty much it, Chad. Very straightforward. We got to see by the end of the week. Watch out for the data, watch out for the levels, and I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby, your heart needs to be right here, right now. You need to love what you got right now and stop being so in love with the past. Get your heart from the past, put it to right now, because you were made for this moment. Not that moment, this moment. You see what I'm saying? It's right here, right now. Don't miss it. Don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. Don't let the past get free reign. You know what I'm saying? But for real, baby, there's opportunity. You are standing in your mind filled with diamonds. It's right there. Shout out Earl Nightingale, baby. But you got to get it. Focus on it. And Chad, God bless you, and I hope you're ready. And finger to the sky. I'll see you in the morning. Peace out. Yalla. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even that. I'm just hype, baby.